So welcome everyone to another interview, this time with my student, Nicholas. He's from Australia and he's having an interesting story. He worked before with a fitness trainer. He got to, let's say, even below 10% body fat, which is fantastic. But also he mentioned that his health wasn't on point. So then we decided to work together and then I'm gonna introduce the results on the screen, and then we can discuss about this process and what we achieved. If you're new here, my name is Sebastian. I'm a certified nutrition consultant. I've been training for 16 years, and I mostly work with professionals. So, Nick, if you can tell us more about you, like where are you from, what do you do for work, and things like that.
Yeah, no worries. So I'm from Adelaide in Australia, down in South Australia. I'm 34 years old, trained as an accountant, but I work as financial officer for a medicinal cannabis company, in South Australia. So yeah, very much got a desk job. At times high stress, a lot of work to do. Which is why looking after my body has been such an important thing. And, I guess not only looking after my body, but looking after my mind as well. Which I guess has pushed me to go down the path before of looking into fitness, and sort of was why I contacted you in the end. Because I was not feeling like my health was in the right place, and I needed to make some significant changes.
Okay, when you say your health wasn't in the right place, how do you mean specifically?
Yeah, so as you touched on before, so last year, just before me and my wife got married, I worked with a personal trainer online, from Australia. I lost about 20, I think at max, I lost about 23 kilos. And like you said, got down to under 10% body fat. I wasn't eating nutritious meals and was just kind of went down the path of very low calories. Like at times I was on, 1,300 calories a day, which is definitely not much. Towards the end of my cut at the end of last year, I ended up with a bit of jaundice in my hands and feet because I was cutting so extremely. Um, Had brain fog. Like I'd get home after work at the end of the day and almost have to drag myself out of my car. I was so tired. So then we got married, went on my honeymoon, and then probably in a space of about 4 or 5 weeks in between thing and uh, I guess the wedding and Christmas, which was our honeymoon period, and then being back in Australia, I put on 17 kilos again.
17.
So, yeah. So I guess I worked for an entire year to get rid of that and then put it all back on because my body was just screaming for some calories and for some nutrition again. And obviously, I guess you can read between the lines. There was a lot of binge eating in there, and on the back of the honeymoon too, I ended up with barley belly, which almost had me hospitalized back here, and doctors were quite concerned about my liver levels. So yeah, was in a pretty rough place, which was the time that you and I started speaking a little bit. And yeah, obviously, it was time for me to jump in and start working with you and get my health on track again.
Okay, makes sense. I mean, obviously, I know your situation from before, but that's what is usually happening. You know, you stay in a diet that you cannot keep it for the long term, or at least even the short term, let's say, and then you end up like having these crazy cravings. You'll eat everything and you'll put back all your weight. And the reason is that definitely when you go that low on calories, you basically destroy your hormones. So what you need to do instead is to fix your hormones, and then after that, just manage the calories, which is actually the opposite of what the fitness world is doing. Because in fitness, like maybe you can cover that with some stimulants, maybe more caffeine or maybe some pre-workouts. So you give your body a boost, like all the time. But yeah, we know that with everything that is looking too good, it will end up being a bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was your goal when we started to working together?
Yeah, so my goal was to get lean again. I guess above all else, my goal was to get my health back on track. So I wanted to, I guess, lose some weight more sustainably, get back into the gym. And I guess the other side of it too was to keep performing well at my job. Um, and to keep performing, to keep bringing money in. And I just really holistically wanted to look after myself a lot better. Because I went to some pretty deep depths last year, and like I remember saying to you when we first started working together that the big thing I wanted was some balance. And just to understand how to get the body I wanted, but to do it the right way.
Yeah. And okay, makes sense. And my question is, so you mentioned the right way. Why do you think what you did before was the wrong way? Because obviously is what fitness coaches are doing at the moment, like right now, like many fitness coaches. So why do you say that this was or why do you think this was the right way?
Yeah, so what I went through last year was all about just hitting a number. And it was just I needed to hit my calories and I needed to hit a certain number of workouts. And yes, physically that got me the results. Like I got shredded last year, but my health suffered. And so when I say the right way, it was to like there as as I've learned since I've been working with you, there's so much more than just hitting a calorie target. And there's so much more to your health than just getting lean as well. And and I don't think I necessarily understood what the right way was until we started working together. But as I learned more, it got clearer to me that, it's not just about trying to get your calories as low as you possibly can to get the body you want, because you will suffer at that point.
Yeah, makes sense. It's basically you are treating this as just the numbers. I think the doctors are doing pretty much the same thing. They just analyze numbers, on the screen. But yeah, you don't have to do that. You have to analyze the whole structure. Like your body is a system, so you need to understand the system from multiple points. Yeah, fitness is basically focusing. I mean, mainstream fitness is focusing on, as we know, calories, macros, and then workouts, getting yeah, maybe as many workouts as possible. Even though if you pass a certain point, you can yeah, overtrain, which is
Yeah.
not going to bring you results. Actually, it's going to be the opposite. Okay, and yeah, why did you decide to invest in yourself, specifically with me in this case, to achieve that goal?
Yeah, no worries. I think the first thing that helped me do that was because I'd worked with someone previously. So I think that for me, sort of that fear of jumping into working with an online coach was a bit less for me because I'd done it before. What jumped out for me is I'd been following you on Instagram for a little bit, and it was a lot of your messaging was stuff that I guess resonated with me. Like I worked with a very holistic health coach probably, geez, it would have been 6 or 7 years ago. And what really hit me with your messages was it combined, I guess, that holistic nature that I'd understood with the fitness side of things. And I hadn't seen anyone do that properly. Which was first got like I guess yeah that first got me very interested in working with you. And then when you and I started speaking over messages, something that really hit me was you just giving me a little bit of advice before I went on my honeymoon, before we were even working together. And that said a lot to me, I guess, about your integrity and what you were offering. Um, and yeah, and I think that really sums it up for me. But it was just the product that you were appearing to deliver was exactly what I was looking for at that time because it combined all the things that I was looking for.
Yeah, I appreciate your kind words. Yeah, definitely the holistic approach and then combined with modern fitness is, of course, in my opinion, just how you make it long term in this game. And you have to make
Yeah,
it right because you want to have a nice physique. You know, there is another thing that many people will say, oh, these guys lived to 80, 90 years plus, or yeah, maybe, I don't know, your grandparents or something like that. Yeah, but the situation was way, way different back then. So right now we are just in a testing phase. So we are like an experiment, you know. So this is
yeah,
why in the social media space, you can see so many diets, so many opinions, and so on. So yeah, it makes sense. Holistic is the way to go. Not like you kill yourself, you know, with workouts, with tracking macros, calories. Yeah, maybe you got a good physique, but what's the price you need to pay, you know? Maybe you pay the price of your health. So this is why the holistic approach will get in and will solve that problem.
yeah.
Okay, cool stuff. And how do you feel now that you learn about yeah, metabolic health, how to fix it, and also you have my support from now on. So yeah, do you feel like you know how to face the next stage? Like you are confident about this, you are prepared, you have the right attitude, the right clarity.
Yeah, yeah, look, definitely. I've been absolutely blown away by my results and how much I've learned. Um, like I thought we were going to get to a good point before we started working, but where we've gotten to and the way I feel now is, a thousand times better than I could have ever imagined. Um, I guess just to paint a picture, like my brain fog's gone completely. I've got plenty of energy. I'm calmer. Um, I feel stronger as a man, more confident. Like I've been cutting while we've been working together, but it hasn't really been about the scale weight, which was something that also really hit me. Like my body, I guess, is recompositioned as we've been working together. Like whilst I've been cutting, I've been putting on muscle, been getting stronger in the gym. Um, and the other thing is too, like going through the lessons with you, like I've learned so much in terms of how to manage my health long term. And to add to that too, the diet plan, the training, like it's all sustainable and fits with lifestyle. And, like last year when I finished with my trainer, like I was just completely lost. Like I had no idea what to do. I was like, all right, I'm not working with him anymore. I'm just out in the wild and a bit lost. Whereas, like we finished working together 2 weeks ago. And since then, we've had a few messages. I know you're always there. I've been reading through the Discord every now and then to keep my knowledge up. But I guess the real basics behind everything are there and fundamental, and I really understand what to do now.
Glad to hear that. Thank you for your amazing words as well. And yeah, this concept of metabolic health, do you understand it now? Because of course I'm pushing it, you know, on my Instagram, YouTube, and all that stuff. But do you understand the concept? Like, why is it so important?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Because and I guess it touches on what we were talking before about, the modern fitness just trying to hit numbers. Like there is so much more than that. And, and something else you said before too, like our body is a system, and I understand that now. And, even just little things like understanding, reducing toxin exposure or, avoiding fast food because it depletes your vitamin E levels. And, there's just there's been so many, like there's been so much I've learned, but it really rolls everything into our body being a complete system. And I guess that also then ties in with the blood work that I did, which you guided me through. And I was blown away with how good my results were. And I think that was probably at the 8 or 9 week mark of us working together. Um, and to think that 8 to 9 weeks before that, I was feeling half dead and was quite overweight. And in the space of 8 or 9 weeks, where I didn't lose scale weight, but my metabolic health got so much better. And also to add to that, I think like one big thing that really hit me was just like I felt like I was eating so much more food than I was last year, but was eating food that I liked and that was nutritious for me. And digestion was better. Like there was, I can't begin to describe just how much better everything's been.
Glad to hear that. That's amazing. Also, yeah, if you have a, I like this concept of a balanced diet, so not jump into extreme diets because they are not gonna work long term. Yeah, some people will try them, or this is the best diet to lose fat and so on. No, it's not. It's just about, of course, the deepest level in nutrition is to understand how to combine the vitamins and minerals so you have the maximum absorption. Or maybe in the fitness world, you have problems with your gut, so you cannot absorb those nutrients. And this
Yeah.
is why you have cravings all the time. You cannot stick to a diet. And also, yeah, another thing is that fitness trainers will usually build their diets based on what they are doing. So, of course, you as a professional, you cannot follow a fitness trainer's diet. It's something different. They have different jobs. They can maybe recover faster. They can sleep at night better and things like that. So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
another thing that yeah, they need to understand. Okay, cool. And what would have happened if you decided to do nothing about your situation back then?
Yeah. I would have probably been another 17 kilos heavier,
Oh,
probably
really?
at minimum. Like I think if we hadn't have started working together, like I was very lost to that stage and quite unhealthy. Um, like I probably would have got back into the gym and done something about it, but I think I would have kept gaining weight. I would have been overtraining. My gut health still would have been bad, and I would have been dealing with all those problems I was dealing with before. And if anything, they probably would have all been worse too.
Okay, well, so many improvements. Okay, and what do you say it's the thing that helped you the most achieve your success?
Yeah, probably the balance in your program, if I can put it that way. You were very conscious of, not like, like you said, I'm a professional. Like, I spend most of my day using my brain in front of the computer. And it was you having an understanding of that and not coming up with a crazy training program where I was in the gym 5, 6 days a week, obsessively food prepping all the time. One of the meals that we had, one of the meals that I had was a shake every day, which was really easy to prep in the mornings before I went to work. I was at the gym 4 days a week for decent sessions and then, a couple of ab sessions a week, which were quite short. Um, but it was all just manageable around my lifestyle without needing to, you know, like we chatted about cortisol levels as well. It all kept my cortisol levels in check and meant that I could get to where I wanted to be without having to stress and push myself over the edge.
Yeah, and an important thing that you mentioned about so the breakfast was just a protein shake, natural one, of course. The thing is that many people will skip breakfast because they believe they will have more energy during the day. Yeah, of course you have more energy because you will elevate your stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. So yeah, you're basically running on adrenaline, and this is very stressful for your body. maybe you'll not feel it for the short term, but in the long term, you'll just wake up, with brain fog, with less energy. And yeah, maybe it's too late because you are getting used to intermittent fasting, for example, so skipping the breakfast. This is not working for professionals. So yeah, if you are watching this interview, just know this is definitely not working. Maybe it's working if you have different jobs, like a low stress job. But yeah, definitely if you use your brain, to work, I don't recommend it. Okay, cool. And yeah, if someone, no, would you recommend this program to anyone?
100%. No, no matter whether you're a professional, whether you're just into fitness yourself, no matter what you're doing, 100% recommend this program. Um, it's sustainable for the long term. I always had your support and will always have your support going forward. And not only that, but you weren't scared to teach me the skills that I needed to look after myself long term. And it was never about it was never about you keeping all the knowledge to yourself so that I need to rely on you constantly. It was the exact opposite of you're going to teach me as much as I need so that I can go and look after myself. And that's the big thing that I've never seen anywhere else. And, one of the biggest reasons why I recommend your program for others.
Makes sense. Yeah, I don't know if you know, but yeah, I'm originally from a Balkan country. And yeah, one of the things about people, living there is that they are honest, because they understand that life is hard. So for me, it was like, I want to teach everything that I know, like with a good structure so people can make it long term because, maybe we'll meet in like real life. I'm sure we'll do. And then you say like, or you look and feel amazing, after that, even 5 years later, 10 years later. So for me, that's a sense of pride, because obviously I was into this game for 16 years and I just want to give back, everything that I know to, let's say, a community, working with people, But yeah, that's an amazing feeling, So cool stuff. And if someone is watching this and they are not sure about investing in themselves, what would you say to them?
Send you a message instantly.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I tell them just take the jump because I think especially for professionals too, and I think also somewhat as men, we can be very proud and not reach out for help because we're always like, oh, we can do it ourselves, we don't need help. But getting the help has been the best thing I've ever done. And having that little bit of assistance and I guess outsourcing some of that knowledge, like it would have taken me years to learn and of heartache to learn everything that I've learned since I've been working with you in a short period of time because you've got the knowledge and you're ready to share it.
Mhm. Okay. And what if, let's say, if you were to start the program again, what would you do differently?
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
really good question.
yeah, before that, just to mention, yeah, you were fantastic. You've been following everything. You were very consistent with everything, questions and so on. So, yeah, like what would you say? Yeah, it's something that is missing to make it even better, regarding yeah, the program. If you were to start again.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's probably a funny one. I think maybe reading a little bit less when I first started, because I think like there's so much information in your Discord, that I think just slowing down at the start and just trusting the process a little bit better. Because like when we started, I just wanted to jump straight into it, like do everything 110%. And I remember you saying to me in the first couple of weeks, like, all right, we just need to ease into things a bit. But yeah, I think I guess just slowing down, trusting in the process and knowing that working with you will get you to where you need to be. And, that might potentially look different for everybody, but it will get you to where you need to be. And just, slow down a little bit and trust what you're teaching.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So, because I have students as well, they're telling me like, oh, I don't feel any difference, like first 2 or 3 weeks regarding their physique, for example. But I just tell them wait, because even in the first 2 months, you're not gonna see like be like life-changing progress. But trust me, after 2 months, it will be like magic. And that's where most people, will give up because they don't see results in the beginning. And yeah, maybe the strategy is not working, or maybe the strategy is working and you don't have the patience to see the results. So yeah, definitely a coach will, you know, reduce that feeling, of not being sure that it's working. So yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. Cool stuff. So is there anything else you would like to add or just to mention?
Yeah, look, I just above all else just wanted to say thank you. Not only, have I been your client as such, but we've developed a good friendship while we've been working together. Your support has always been spot on. At times where you had to be like, all right, like there were a couple of times, there were a couple of weeks there where I was in between changing jobs. I got a little bit slack. Like you were, very nicely, but we're like, all right, it's time to get back on track now. Like you've changed your job, it's time to get back on track. And I guess it was just that constant guidance that you were there, the support, and yeah, just wanted to say thank you because I feel completely different, and I know that I can manage this for the rest of my life now.
Happy to hear that. Yeah, there were some, let's say, some moments in which, yeah, you changed the job and it was like maybe a bit tough for you. Even, yeah, you had some problems with the dogs and stuff like that. But yeah, in
Yeah,
the end, it's just, yeah, problems will occur in life. So uh, that's it, you're gonna solve them and then get back on track. I mean, doesn't matter what's happened in the past, uh, it's just that what you can do right now so you can have a better future. Like, for example, maybe you have a cheat day today. So what you're gonna do tomorrow? Throw away all your progress? No, forget about it and just move on. We have strategies, like maybe 1 day fasting to reduce the average of the calories in that week. Or yeah, there are so many, so many strategies that we can implement. So again, life is like this, uh, you can have stressful moments, you can have bad periods, but all that matters is that you get back on track.
yeah,
Cool. So yeah, I'm really happy that yeah, we had this interview. I learned some from you because of course some things you didn't mention because I didn't know that. And yeah, of course I want to continue to see you succeed in this journey, fitness, health. And yeah, this is not like a 4 month transformation. No, this is a lifetime. You know what to do from now on. If you want to reduce some body fat, if you want to increase your muscle mass, you know how to calculate your strength, needed for reaching a certain body type and all that stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, I hope people on YouTube enjoyed this interview as much as I did. And yeah, looking forward to seeing your success in the future, definitely. And I'm sure we'll meet maybe in Italy, maybe in other country in the near future.
definitely. No, thank you as well. It's been great.
Also, yeah, thank you for watching this interview. I hope you enjoyed. I'm really glad that Nick achieved that. I can't wait, yeah, to help you have similar success if you're interested. So yeah, if you're looking to, let's say, drop your body fat or yeah, gain some muscle mass, quality muscle mass, without going to the gym every day, like the fitness mainstream, or yeah, weird diets, tracking macros like a code, or I don't know, eliminating the food that you like, or yeah, consuming food that you dislike can be the case. Yeah, make sure you yeah, you can book a free health assessment with me. Uh, see if I can help you, see if we have some kind of alignment, and I'll see you there. Thank you for watching.